Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know, I always start my show off the same way with gratitude, or some people will say thankfulness. I am so thankful for being here. Here meaning in existence above ground. Here meaning that I can appreciate all the beauty of the world. I'm actually looking through my window right now and seeing the trees swaying. I'm seeing people moving. I'm hearing the birds. It is just absolutely awesome. I am ecstatic. It doesn't matter what comes at me right now. I am just simply ecstatic. And I thank you, the universe, everyone, for being a part of my life and making all my dreams come true, whether they have come out in the way that I wanted. It doesn't matter to me. The fact is that love exists. I am love and I feel love from everyone and from everything. And if somehow you lack love, I am here to give it to you through my show. Yes, between the lines. So I thank you for that. And I have a lovely lady here with me, Kae Wagner.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, she's simply beautiful.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And we're going to be talking about branding today, I believe, how to build a brand. And branding is a topic that I think everyone should be listening to and learning. And I think it's one of the things that people struggle with, branding. And they probably mix it up with a lot of other things. You
Right.
know, what is branding really, what it is about, how to do it, how to set yourself apart from everyone else, how to be a household name, all those different things come as part of the branding and colors and fonts and it's really you wouldn't believe the kind of things that come that are involved when it comes to branding. Yeah.
Right.
So let me tell you a bit about Kae Wagner. She will show you in this podcast how to build a brand that will make buyers want to buy from you. Isn't that awesome? Over 3 decades of brand building, Kay knows all of the trips. She says trips, but I think it's supposed to be, well, is it trips or tips and tricks
Tips.
you
Tips.
need to
Yeah.
know to make your brand one of the best? From getting brands on national TV, which we would love, on national TV shows, to writing national columns and books. Kay can guide you to make your brand the best, the one that stands out from the competition, like I was saying before. Currently looking for successful brands for her podcast, the secret sauce of brand success. She's saying send her an email if you want to be interviewed. And I will share her email a little bit later in the show. Or I can share it now. KG Wagner at northstar-m.com. But I'm going to put that in the description when I'm promoting a show so you don't have to remember all of that. So welcome, Kay, to Between the Lines.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so delighted to be here.
Yeah.
And I really want to bring a lot of value to your people today.
Oh, yes.
So
Wonderful. We're
if it,
going to extract as much value from you in the next 30
okay.
minutes. We're going to
Okay.
suck it out of you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, Corinne, is that a lot of people do not understand how branding fits with marketing.
Yes,
So
please.
if it's okay with you, I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how branding fits in with marketing. Can you see this branding pyramid?
I can.
Okay. So let's see if I can make this full screen. Well, anyway, we'll just do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
So in our
Go to
world, and
slideshow. Go to slideshow at the top of the screen next to review.
okay, here,
Yes.
and then
And go
go here.
from, yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
So I put this branding pyramid together so that people could understand branding and how it fits in with the whole marketing to selling process.
Mm-hmm.
So marketing is really the foundation, and marketing is about the 5 Ps, and it's about evaluating your product strategy, your pricing strategy, your placement strategy, your people strategy, and your promotion. And I'd like to just say a quick word about pricing strategy. So many of us think that buyers want the cheapest price.
Mm-hmm.
And the research shows that only 25% of any market wants the cheapest price. And then what's really interesting is there is 10% on the top that wants a high price. They are willing to pay a high price, and they want to be serviced and taken care of at a high price. So if you go to the market with a pricing strategy that's really low, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. But marketing is really the strategy part of your business. It's how you put together your products, your prices. It's how you look at your SWOT analysis. It's all of this functional, intellectual, rational thinking that you do. And you don't change your strategy, your marketing strategy, very quickly, because it takes time for it to take hold in the marketing place, in the market. Branding, however, is a ton of fun. So the easiest way for me to explain to you how branding and marketing work together is to tell you the story of Aflac. So we all know the story, Aflac, the duck, insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had a very specific strategy here where they would go into companies, but they would sell to the individuals within the companies. So they were spending like, I don't know, 45 million in advertising, and they only had a 3% awareness level. This was like maybe 15, 20 years ago. So the CEO said, that's just like, that's a lot of money for low awareness. So they worked with an agency, and the agency came up with the idea of the duck. So they tested it, as they should, and 50% of the people loved the duck, 50% of the people hated the duck. But the CEO said, we're going to go with the duck. So they ran their first duck commercial. It was like 20 years ago, maybe, on New Year's Eve. The week following that commercial, they had more hits on their website than they did the entire year before. And within 3 years, because of the branding using the duck, they had 97% awareness level.
Wow.
And so what was really cool was, because of the awareness level, all of their agents would get like invited in, and they had all these little duck things, and they, did the whole branding thing really, really well. So what's important to understand about that is they did not change any of their marketing strategy, but they changed their branding.
Mm-hmm.
And then they communicated that. Now, a lot of people think communications is marketing. It's not. Marketing is foundational. Communications is how you put it out in the world, how you talk about it. And then, of course, at the end of the day, at the top of the pyramid is selling. Did you sell anything today? Did you sell anything this quarter? Did you actually move the needle? And the better your marketing is, the more deals you'll close, because marketing paves the way up the pyramid.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of how we look at how marketing works. And branding as a definition, because you will very rarely find a good definition. So this is a definition that I put together. A brand is a product or service. It has a unique mark, symbol, or logo. It has a defined set of attributes and characteristics, and it creates a unique experience for the consumer. Most people stop here and here with branding, but this is where the real branding happens. How you interact with your clients, your customers, every touch point. And so we go through an experience where we identify all the touch points between a brand and a client or a consumer. And it's amazing how many there are. There could be 100. In some cases, there are 1,000. And you have the opportunity to actually create and upgrade those experiences. So the next thing about branding is that there are 8 branding blocks. And the first one is the name. So you might not recognize this name, Blue Ribbon Sports, but Blue Ribbon Sports was the name of a company in Oregon about 30 years ago, and they imported running shoes. And so one of theirs, I think it was their 3rd employee, had this dream that they should change their name from Blue Ribbon Sports, which is a very descriptive name, to the name of the goddess of success, who is Nike. And so he was so passionate about that he persuaded the owners to change it from Blue Ribbon Sports to Nike. And Nike is an aspirational name. It is what we aspire to be, the goddess of sports, the goddess of success, rather. And so they did that. Now, that's not the only reason they're so successful, but it changed their mindset from being a descriptive name to an aspirational name. The second brand building block is your logo. So I don't know if you guys can see the arrow in the FedEx, but FedEx paid $1 million for this logo. I would have done it for $500,000, but they didn't ask me.
It's subtle. It's very subtle between the E and the X. It's
Yes,
very, very subtle.
Right here.
Yes.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And then Apple came out in 1984 against IBM, Big Blue. And so they did this multicolored logo of the apple. They have changed it to a multi-dimensional silver one. But here's what's important about this logo. They took the apple and they took the bite out. Now, if you know the story of the Garden of Eden, when Eve took the bite out of the apple, she became all-knowing.
Yes.
There's a very subtle touch there. So let's look at colors. Colors resonate in the brain in a different part of the brain, and they, let's just say, sizzle up. So UPS changed their logo and they added this gold, which kind of upscaled them. And Tiffany, of course, as women, we all get Tiffany at Christmas, right? Tiffany has patented their robin's egg color, this color here, and they've patented the color above it, the shade above it, and the shade below it. And Tiffany's color is so well known that they don't put their name or logo on their box. When you get that box, you know what it is. Taglines are another brand building block, and they're very important. McDonald's went through this exercise where they wanted to have a tagline that was not corporate speak. So when you do a tagline is a very, very short story about your brand. And then it's like an iceberg. Each level down gets longer. But the tagline is kind of like the essence of it. Like, I'm loving it for Nike. No, that's not Nike. I'm sorry. I'm loving it for McDonald's. And so they wanted to reach a younger audience, and you can see in the font, in the actual words, what they were trying to do there, right? Next is sound, and this is one that is often neglected, but Intel's 4 tones. We know Intel's 4 tones. Do you know, Corinne, what is the most famous sound in branding right now?
No.
Okay. It is the tones on iTunes or on the iPhone.
Okay.
Like
Well,
when
I don't have an iPhone, so I really don't pay attention to them. I am Android. I'm not an iPhone person.
Okay, when a phone call comes in, unless you change the ringtone, it has that sound, and everybody knows what that sound is. And the thing about sound and music is that also resonates in a different part of our brain.
Yes.
And so we know those songs. We hear those first few, bars. Like probably everybody in your audience can sing the Oscar Mayer song. I won't do that because it would be really bad. So sound is an important thing in that it takes you from your head to your heart. And we all know that people buy from emotion, right?
From the heart, yes.
Yeah, from the heart. So the next aspect is looking at your overall look and feel, positioning the brand. So are you a very corporate brand, a very casual brand, a brand that's very sassy? You know, putting all of those elements together, you begin to position your brand in a certain way. And then, oops. The next one is to take that overall look and feel and then begin to package the brand. So, Corinne, you have this gorgeous photo,
Thank you.
in our Zoom room here. And it shows you in a very beautiful, engaging way. And I would imagine that the rest of all of your communications follows along with that kind of a feel and that kind of a look. Is that right?
Yes, it does. It can't help but follow that.
Right. So you're building a brand, you have it all consistent. And then the final piece is the brand experience. And that goes beyond all of these other elements, brings everything together, and it shows the heart and the soul of the brand. We have a certain logic in our branding, but what we really want to do is get to the heart and soul of the brand.
People normally give me feedback without me asking. So I know that I'm on point when,
Exactly.
yes, based on the way I walk, based on the way I speak, based on the way I communicate in text, even in text, or written or visuals, my output, just my whole aura. People always give me feedback in terms of that. So I know without even trying, Kay, without even trying, it just follows.
Right. Right. So when you have a brand like you have, which is a personal brand, it all comes from the inside out, right?
Yes,
It comes really from the authentic person that you are.
that's right.
And that's what people resonate with, and that's why people want to work with you,
Yeah,
because they know that you are authentic and that you're not fabricating some kind of like a corporate brand, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah.
So the brand click, what we call the brand click, is what is it about your brand that clicks in the mind of your buyers? So we set it up this way, like she's the one who X, fill in this blank, and that's really what resonates and what clicks from all of this work that you do, all of the authentic work that you do, and the consistent work that you do. I mean, part of branding is really, a major part of branding is being consistent.
That's right.
And so many people like get bored with what they're doing and then they want to change it up. And that's just the wrong thing to do, because branding, you want to count on what the branding is, and you want to count on what the brand promise is, so you know what's going to be delivered to you. And if people change up their branding all the time, then people are like, well, now I don't know, exactly what to expect.
You create confusion in their minds.
Exactly. Exactly. So why does branding actually matter? Well, your brand promise declares who you are. Your brand promise is really important because it sets you up in the marketplace. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm going to give you. Here's what you're going to pay for and why it's valuable. It gives clarity and cohesion. So when I'm buying as a buyer and I know your brand, Corinne, I know what that's going to be. So it gives me clarity and cohesion. It creates differentiation. and positioning. So I know why you are different than somebody else, what you would bring to me, how we would work together rather than somebody else. It also helps to lower sales resistance because now I know you. And when I know you, it makes it so much easier for me to make the decision to work with you because I know, like, and trust you, right?
Yeah.
So it creates that trust and relationship. And one of the things about branding that a lot of people don't understand is when you have a really good brand, you can create a higher pricing strategy. So if your brand is really tight and well crafted and really reflects you, you will be able to actually have a higher pricing strategy. And when we look at pricing, we look at what I call the 3 sale. The 3 sale is how do you bring people in at a no risk level and then move them up to another level and then moving them up to the 3rd sale, which is where the higher prices and where they can actually create and get a whole lot more value. And so that's a strategy that we build on. Your brand builds your reputation and it actually adds value to your balance sheet. So if you're looking out 5 years, 10 years, and you're going to think that you're going to sell, you know, you're going to have a sale of your company or your coaching, you know, company, you want to look at what is the value that the branding is bringing to the balance sheet. And I love this little guy here. Wow, branding does all that.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, Kae. And then you have the whole thing about branding has now taken on a new, a new evolved approach, especially with including social media, which in itself is not even as consistent as it used to be. Every day there's a change, there's an update, there's an upgrade. So you have to keep up with the changes. New platforms are coming in, changes to the existing platform, and you still have to try and maintain a consistency of your branding across. So if somebody look at your website, they must see the same thing on the Facebook, the same thing on Twitter, Instagram, and when I say the same thing as somebody who is into PR and communications, it's the colors, it's the logo, it's the experience. So you shouldn't be feeling something different if you go to Instagram and if you come back to the website. It shouldn't be 2 different things. A consistency, a common thread must be happening in all of those different platforms so that persons can say, yes, I know I am dealing with this particular company. This is, they recognize it without even having to look. It must be so instinctive that they recognize it without even having to think that, am I here? Am I in the right place? It just goes without saying. Yeah.
Right. And that's the consistency. And that's where imagery comes in. Imagery is really important because if I see an image on your social media and then on your website and then in your email, I immediately, that clicks right away. Then I know I'm in the right place. I'm with the right person.
I know you have a book, Kae. I want to be able to hop across because we're coming to the close of the interview.
Right.
I know you prepared a lovely presentation and I don't mean to cut you, but I think you have really captured what branding is and have given, our listeners and those who will be listening, a really detailed but a good snapshot to work with. And I don't want to give away all the nice secret sauce, as you would say in your podcast. I don't want to give away all the secret in the secret sauce. But I want you to stop sharing your screen now so that I can quickly go over. Or if you want, you can bring up your own website if you wish. So you can share the screen again if you wish, or I can bring it up. Let me do that. Let me do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you do it.
Let me bring up a page here.
So I have an offer and a website URL that I sent to you.
All right. I didn't. Let me see. Did you send that to me a while ago? Hold on. Oh yes, I see it.
Uh-huh.
Let me get that and let me grab that. Give me a
So part of really good branding is creating visibility,
mm-hmm.
and the offer is about how to create visibility for your brand.
So I'm going to do the offer. Let me see the other page here. 1 second. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. There we go.
There we go. Right.
Right. So this is the offer, 5 steps to expand your brand. You're
Right.
giving away a free report.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And how do they get this? They click here. Do you enter? Oh, you enter the name and email.
Right.
You say yes, send me the information, and you click. Yeah.
And then click here to download your free report.
Wonderful. 5 steps to expand your brand. Free
Right.
report. It's free. Okay, people, it's free. How to generate massive brand visibility so clients will easily find and hire you. Clearly, I need to put
Right.
in my name in here, so you'll be seeing my name in the back end.
Okay, good. Great.
Let me switch over to the main website here now. Here we are.
Right. So that's my website.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us where we should go here. Your services.
Right.
So
So I want to tell you a quick story.
mm-hmm.
If you see this quote here,
Which one?
when you have a
Oh,
passion
this.
for your product,
Yes.
right? When you have a passion for your product, selling is a natural byproduct of sharing the love.
I wonder who said that.
I said that. That's my
I know.
quote.
I can see it here.
And look, it's turned up in this book,
Yes. Yes.
which is an international best-selling book.
Mhm.
And my quote is on page 21,
Nice.
along with Aristotle and Zig Ziglar,
Oh, I love Zig. Mm. I
Dwight
love
Eisenhower.
nice.
I was amazed.
Can you show that book again?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. The 100 greatest sales tips of all time. So you are in there.
Right. I'm one of the 100,
Ah,
along,
nice. Isn't
along
that
with
awesome?
Aristotle and Zig Ziglar and Phil Crosby and Dwight Eisenhower.
Yes. Tell persons how they can contact you, Kae.
So you can contact me. The easiest way to contact me is actually through my email. Should I put that in the chat?
No, I think I have it. Didn't you send it to me? And I think,
Okay.
yeah,
So
and I'll put it in the description.
right. So it's initial Kae Wagner at
Mm-hmm.
northstar-m.com,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go to Facebook and messenger me.
Okay, and what's your Facebook name?
Kae Wagner.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So right now, like I said earlier, I'm looking for lots of people to do podcasts with.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest way to get in touch with me to schedule a podcast
Mm-hmm.
is to go to Messenger, because I'm pulling all of those off and putting them into a spreadsheet.
Nice.
And we're talking about the secret sauce of brand success.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to think about how you put your brand together.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, maybe it's not perfect. Maybe you're just getting started.
Yeah.
And we can talk about branding principles and brands that you love, brands that you hate,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of branding things,
Nice.
because branding and marketing obviously go together. So,
Yeah. They're all tied in one way or the other because one feeds
right.
into the other. One feeds
Yes.
into the other. I love the little graphic you showed earlier. And I know you had already invited me. People don't know that, but before we started recording, you invited me to be on your podcast and that same
Yes.
branding. So I look forward to being featured on your show as well and talking about branding. It's something that I'm
Yes.
passionate about. And I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Yes. And so if I could just add one thing on the
Yeah.
logistics. we do the podcast recording on Zoom like we're doing now.
Yes.
And then we strip out the audio and do that on podcast.
Yes.
And then we actually post the audio or the video on YouTube.
Yes.
So you actually get, twice the coverage.
Yes. That's the exact thing I do as well with my show. So it's on YouTube as well as on my podcast page. Yes.
Right. And I think it's important because like I use a lot of graphics and stuff like that, and you kind of need that for the video part.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you so much, Kae. This has been wonderful. It's
Thank
you
you.
know, I've never had anyone do a presentation slash interview slash conversation type of show. This is the first time. So kudos to you. We did it a bit different today. We did it a bit different today, and I commend you for that. Thank you so much.
Can I come visit you sometime?
You are free to come Trinidad anytime. I haven't called immigration on you yet. So I haven't called customs and immigration on you yet. No security. So until then, you are free to come here anytime.
Okay. I would love to come visit you. I love the Caribbean.
Yes, you should. And when you're coming here, clearly we need to talk about branding. Yes?
Yes, yes. We could have like an event.
Yes, yes. You just never know. I'll have you know, just as we end off, I was living in Jamaica for 21 years. And Jamaica is the only country I know that is a brand and a country. The colors of the word Jamaica, it is a brand. There are specific colors, and you have to get permission to use the word Jamaica anywhere. So it's Jamaica. The word Jamaica is the name of the country, but it's also a brand.
Oh, that is.
So the country is a brand, and it's also a country. So
yes, we need to do something about that.
Yes, so it is very, very significant.
Yes.
There are specific colors, the type of font, the size, where it's placed and how it's placed.
The
experience. They are very, very, very specific about those things. And you just can't say, oh, well, it's Jamaica. No, you have to get permission.
I love that. We should do a whole thing on that.
I know. We have to study it, right? But it's very, very interesting. And it's a nice little case study to work on, actually, to look at how they use it and what they use it for and that type of thing. Really, a country that's a brand. Yeah. I
think we would probably need a month to study it.
Yeah, I think so. On the beaches, we could study it on the beaches while drinking pina colada. Yeah, we could study it that way. Yes. Thank you so much, Kae Wagner, for being on Between the Lines.
Thank you. I'll be in touch.
Please. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.